Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatra Sthirairangai Stuštava Sastanuvi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuh Swastina Indro Vruddashrava Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Starksho Arishtanemi Swastino Brahaspatir Dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are studying the Mandukya Karikas of Acharya Gaudapada. In the first Agama Prakaran, the whole of Mandukya Upanishad is included. And up till now, we have studied 6 mantras of the Mandukya Upanishad and 9 Karikas following it. In the 6 mantras, we have heard of 3 steps. In the second mantra, we were told that this realization of the Brahman will take place in 4 steps, 3 of which have been described. The cosmic gross consciousness. The whole world is my body, or all the bodies are my body. Then the next step is cosmic subtle body, cosmic subtle personality. That means the mind of the entire universe is my mind. And the third step is the what we call as Ishvara, where neither there are any desires functioning, nor are there any projections made by the mind. Both waking and dream state are projections made by the mind. In the waking state, mind along with Indriyas makes the projection. That is waking state. And mind without the Indriyas makes the projection. That is the dream state. And mind does not make any projection, though the subject-object nature of my consciousness is not yet lost. That is the third step. And the third step has been glorified as telling that this is what is known as Ishvara. God himself, Ishvara, Saguna Brahman, which is nothing but a form of the absolute reality, is this where you have reached. You have not become God, huh? You have reached that state. So this has been described. And Acharya Gaudapada thought that with the help of these, so much wisdom can be given. And he has given that wisdom to us. One is to tell us that these 3 states themselves tell us that there is only one reality, which is the Bhokta in the 3 states and Bhogya also in the 3 states. And so these 3 states indicate the 4th. And then he has discussed, because Ishvara is called as the creator of the world, so he has discussed some theories of creation and concludes by telling that they are all thought of by the cosmologists who take too much interest in the creation. Actually, it is the nature of God to appear through names and forms, because he, being perfect, has no desires in him. Now, we are left with the description of the 4th state. 4th step, not state. Because other than these 3, there cannot be any other state. Mind or consciousness can move in these 3 states. Waking, gross experience, use of mind and organs, dream. The subtle experiences, use only of mind. Deep sleep, mind, indriyas both not functioning. Now the third step is very important compared to the first two steps, because having undergone these three steps, we are now able to take the jump and realize our real nature. It is not a fourth state. Many people wrongly say Turiya state. No, we do not have, we cannot imagine more than three states of life: waking, dream, and deep sleep. But this deep sleep is not like our everyday deep sleep, just the diagonally opposite I state. And that state, if we reach, we are in a position to take a jump. So that is why the importance of the third state. Example, let me give an example. You know, there is something called tender coconut filled with water. You cannot separate the kernel from the shell. Then it dries a little and we get what is called the watery or wet coconut. Some little water is there and the kernel cannot be separated from the shell. Now it dries up further and we have dry coconut. Now dry coconut is still in the shell, but it has got separated from the shell already. You can get a sound of it. But we have not yet got the kernel. But you can break it and get the kernel. So that is a state where it has become possible for us to realize the reality. Now, how to describe it is the problem. So, we read the mantra first. Just read to understand the nature of description. Nanta pragyam, na bahish pragyam, na ubhayata pragyam. Then, no, I lost it. Na pragyana ghanam, na pragyam, na apragyam. Adrishtam, avyavaharyam, agrahyam, alakshanam, achintyam, avyapadesham. Ekatma pratyaya saram, prapanchopashamam, shantam shivam, advaitam, chaturtham manyante, sa atma, sa vigeya. Now, leaving aside this third part, so many negatives. So, what is the description? So, Shankar will clear it in the introduction. But the introduction is based upon this description, so I read it first. So, let us come to the Shankar's introduction. Remember, this is the best description of the undescribable. In the world literature, there cannot be a better description of the undescribable than this seventh mantra of the Mandukya Upanishad. In the world literature, nowhere. So, Shankar tells us why it is in this form. Chaturtha pada krama prapto vaktavya iti. Karma prapta. Now, in the sequence of events, it has come that the fourth pada. Shankara has already told us 3 padas means steps, fourth means the goal. So that is now we have come to that state, that it has to be described, the fourth pada. And so the description is not this, not this, not this. Nanta pragyam ityadina. Now, why the description is like this? Sarva shabda pravrutti nimitta shunyatvat tasya. Tasya means of the fourth path, of the goal of our life, of the nature of the reality to be achieved, there is no scope of now sarva shabda pravrutti. Words, we have an inclination to use a word, sarva shabda pravrutti. We have an inclination of using some word only when something is describable. So something which is beyond, where the tendency of using words itself is gone. Sarva shabda pravrutti nimitta. The cause of the tendency of using some word, shunyatvat, being not there in that tasya. Panchami followed by Shashti tells us, we have seen that nature of that is such that this is not there. Nature of the reality is such that the tendency to use some word itself is gone. So, what is the way? To use negatives, because any positive word would limit that. When we use a word, we are describing a limited thing, which can be seen in the waking state, which can be seen in the dream state, which can be felt in the deep sleep. In the deep sleep also, the subject and object are coalesced. So it can be described by 2 negatives, that also. That where it is not dreaming, where it is no desires, but experience of joy is there. Now, how can we describe this? Okay. Shabda anabhideyatvam. So word cannot be used. Abhideya means name. Abhidan means the thing which is named. Abhidan. So, abhideya means to be named. So it cannot be named by any word. Because the tendency to use a word itself is gone. So it cannot be described by words. Iti. Then how to describe? Vishesha pratishedena evacha turyam nirdidikshati. by denial of any specific quality. That is the only way left. Vishesha pratisheda. Pratishedena eva. The only way left is by denial of any specific quality in it. Because specific quality will make it limited. And all three states have been described already. It is called, Turiam means fourth. So, Turiam, the fourth, not state, the fourth path, the fourth achievable target is indicated nirdidikshati. Nirdesha means direction. Nirdidikshati means the desire to direct. So the Rishi is desirous of directing our mind by denial of all specific things. Now this makes many doubts in our mind. Shunyameva taritat. Does it mean it does not exist? Does it mean it is zero? If you are denying every specific quality of it, then it seems it is zero. Our mind thinks, let me clarify this. Our mind is habituated to think of something particular, something special. And if the tendency to describe is not there, then if you tell it by denial of everything, then what is left in our mind? Shunya. Please try to understand this by experiencing. From our mind, if we remove all particulars, we feel, those who have not done that, those who have reached the third state, for them this doubt is not there. The doubts expressed in Shankar Bhashya are for readers like us, who are still on the ground. One who has reached the third state will easily understand this and go to the fourth. For him is the description. But we on the ground are trying to understand it. And so this difficulty comes. I hope this is clear. All the Nanukhalus of Shankar Bhashya are not from the original disciple who is listening to his guru. Are people like us who are on the ground, and through our imagination we try to understand things. So when we try to visualize, this is not there, that is not there, that is not there, then we are left with zero in our mind. So this doubt is expressed. Shunyameva tarhi tat. Tari means in that case, it is zero only. It, tat, is zero only. Shankar says, na, it is not zero. Mithya vikalpasya nirnimittatva anupapatte. Vikalpa means instead of that we are seeing something else, whether in waking or dream or deep sleep. This mithya, and they are all unreal, we have seen. But the unreal alternates cannot be without a cause. They may be unreal, but that is the question. Why do we see them? It is not hallucination. It is not illusion, delusion, no. If you are seeing something which is not real, it must have a base which is real. And that is appearing to us by wrong knowledge as something else. So vikalpa means something other than the reality. And we understand by now that from the Om itself, we understood that all this is unreal. But unreal alternates cannot be logically anupapatti. Logically cannot be without a base, without a reason, without a cause, nimitta. There should be something, the cause of this important thing. In Ishvara itself we have seen that God creates. We do not create. In dream we may create, but in waking who creates? So it's a wrong interpretation coming from the Buddhistic analysis. It is called subjective superimposition. Many people talk like that. You are imagining, you are imagining. How can we imagine? So it has to have a definite cause. How this unreal thing is seen? So there has to be a definite cause. Example. Examples. Nahi Rajata Sarpa Purusha Mruga Trishnika Adi. He has added Adi. Rajata, silver, false silver, cannot be there without the, what we call it, nacre. CP. Shell. Sarpa. The false sarpa has a base called the rope. Purusha, a false man, is not without the stump of a tree. In the darkness, we approach a stump of a tree and we see there is a man. The man is false. But there cannot be, without anything, we are not seeing the man. The stump of a tree. Mrugatrishnikadi, the mirage, water in the mirage. It is false, but it cannot be without this hand. Adi vikalpaha shuktika rajyo sthanu usharadi vyatirekena. It started with nahi. Avastu aspada shakya kalpayitum. We cannot imagine that they do not, that they have a base which is not real. Avastu. Aspada. Aspada means the base. Avastu aspada. We can never imagine that all these things which have some unreal base. Then in that case, it is describable. Why not call it the base of the unreal world? If all our experiences are unreal, they cannot be without a base, then how do you say it is indescribable? This itself is the description. That it is the base of all the illusory experiences. Evam tari pranadi, that Hiranyagarbha, sarva vikalpas padatvat, because it is the base of all the vikalpas, turyasya, the fourth one, shabdavachyatvam. Then it can be expressed in words. Iti na pratishedai pratyayatvam. Understand this word pratyayatvam, producing an experience. By denial, no experience will be created in us. You could have described it as the base of all this. Then some experience would have come in us. But if by denial, how you can generate an experience in us? Udaka dhara eva iva udaka dhara dehe iva gata dehe. An example. Water is there. This is not false water. Water is there. And the Aadhar of that water is a pot. So we are not interested in describing the water. We are interested in describing the pot. Then why don't say it is the base of water? Like that, all these may not be real. It is the base of everything unreal. Then why not say that it is the base of everything unreal? Understood the objection? It is a normal human mind who is thinking like this. His experience is that if something is the other of something, it can be told as the other of that thing. No, that thinking is wrong. Pranadi vikalpasya asatvat. All those alternates are unreal, na? And can you say something is the other of that unreal? The relation between Aadhar and the unreal things, is it a thing to be described? They cannot be without Aadhar. But it cannot be described as Aadhar of unreal thing. You give an example of water and pot. Water is a real thing. So it is a real. But all these things are unreal. There is a reality at the back. How can we say that reality is the Aadhar of unreal? Catch this point. Imagine, try to experience. Nothing is real. And there is Aadhar of that. No. There cannot be any unreal thing without an Aadhar, we understand. But that is the Aadhar of unreal thing. That cannot be the description. Because nai sad asato sambandha shabda pravritti nimitta bhag avastutvad. We are talking of shabda pravritti nimitta. Now the relation between the real and unreal is not a thing, avastutvad. So that also is beyond the Shabda. By Shabda we are describing something real. But the relation between the Aadhar real and the Adheya unreal is not a thing. Now water and pot, the relation is clear. But here the relation has no word. Okay? So this cancels that objection that Aadhar can be described. Now, further arguments to make us understand why that pratisheda is the only way. So these arguments are over. Napi pramanantara vishayatvam swarupena gavadivat. It is not available to any praman. Pratyaksha, anuman or any praman. Like a cow. Cow is available to pratyaksha praman. It can be described also. But this is something not available to any praman. Then what is the praman? Denial itself is the praman. There is no other praman. The whole thing is this, na? By denial only that is being indicated. Because there is no other praman. If it is an object like cow, then praman, then words. Why? Atmano nirupadikatvat. Upadivasi, something not real but appears as real. No absolute nature of the Atman, what upadi it has. All upadis have been exhausted in the three states. There are upadis. Gross cosmic experience, gross subtle experience, Ishvara, that is all upadis. But Atman is beyond them. So, it has no word to describe it like a cow. Okay? Now, one more argument. Gavadivat, now twice Gavadi has come. So, one is that it is not available to any praman. That is over. Now, Gavadivat napi jatimattam advitiyatvena. Because it is one without a second. So, cow is the general name of a species of objects. It is not like that.
Means there is no general name of Brahman.
Jati. If there is a jati, common name of certain things, it requires something common and something uncommon. Cow is not like a horse, but all cows are cows. So something uncommon, something common. No, Brahman is one without a second. So it is not a jati. So like cow, it cannot be described as a jati. Napi kriyavatvam. We use name by the action. He is a cook. Because he cooks. So we can call him a cook. Woodcutter. So all these are depending upon the work that the man does. No, Brahman does not do any work. Avikriyatvat. Because it does not change at all. It has no vikar, it is absolutely changeless. So you cannot describe him by his work also. Napi gunavatvam. No, something is described by the qualities, like blue, yellow. But Brahman has no qualities. Beyond all qualities, no qualities means beyond all qualities, beyond all specifications. So through qualities also you cannot describe it. Napi gunavatvam niladivat nirgunatvat. It is nirgun. Ato na abhidanena nirdesham arhati. Arhati means able to, adhikari of being told by any name. So no name can be applied to it. Then we feel it may be something. You are telling it is not zero. It may be something. But is it not useless for us? If it is neither guna nor kriya nor this nor that, then it is as good as nothing. Shasha Vishanadi Samatvat Nirarthakatvam Ittarhi. Shasha Vishan is a word, the horn of a hare. It does not exist. But this is used here as useless. The horn of hare is useless because you can never get it. So Shunya, and this is different. Shunya means it is zero. It is proved that it is there. But it is undescribable. So it may be useless for us. What is the use? Now the real value of Vedanta comes out. No. This thinking is wrong. Atmatva avagame turiyasya anatma trishna vyavrutti hetutvat. We have a thirst for unreal objects. And if we know that that fourth is our real nature, then all thirst is gone. This is the greatest use. All our imperfections are gone. All our desires, our thirst, because we are above this or that. So if we know our real nature is the absolute reality, then no thirst remains. This is the greatest use. Use always does not mean you have to eat or do something. So it is useless, no. The greatest use is that all our desires, all our imperfections are smashed if we know our real nature. If we know the infinite as our real nature, no desire can remain. Example, Shuktika avagame iva rajata trishnaya. We see the nacre and we get a desire for silver. But when we know it is nacre, then that desire is gone. Nahi turiyasya atmatva avagame. When you know that that fourth is myself, sati, if we know that, avidya, trishna, adi, doshanam sambhavo asti. First it was told, Krishna is not there. Now he says, wrong knowledge is not there. Resultant desire is not there. And other imperfections also are not there. Our wrong knowledge is gone, desires are gone, and any sort of imperfection is gone. If we realize that that fourth is our real nature. That is the gain. Now, there is no possibility of any dosha. Now, a big statement is made, big statement, important statement. People will say, okay, it may be there, but it cannot be realized. Beyond all pramanas, this and that. And you say, by negation it can be realized. We feel it cannot be realized. Shankar says, we do not see any reason for it not being realizable. Nacha turiyasya atmatva anavagame. To realize turiya as atma, not realizing karanamasti, there is no cause. How do you say so? Sarvopanishadam tadarthena upakshaya. What all Upanishads are meant for, only to make us realize the goal. This is also an important statement. Upanishads are not books on philosophy. The purpose of the Upanishads, purpose of all Upanishads, one more word is there, upakshayat. The energy or force of all the Upanishads is only for making us realize our real nature. This is an important statement, tadarthena. For that only Upanishads are there, not for as I say PhD or anything. Then he quotes the choicest sentences from all the Upanishads to show that. Tattvamasi, Chandogya Upanishad. That the reality of all is what you are. So the purpose of Chandogya Upanishad is to make us realize. I am Atma Brahma. It was here also. I am Atma in the second mantra. But maybe from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also. This self is Brahman. So the purpose of that Upanishad is to realize Tat Satyam Sa Atma. This is behind the Tattvamasi, Chandogya. The subtlest thing which does not you can see, that is the reality, that is the self of all that you are. So there also the purpose is for us to realize. Yat Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. The questioner himself is asking that Brahman which is directly realizable. Directly means without any mediacy, Aparokshat Brahma. Please describe us that. Is Ushasta and Kaval asking Yajnavalkya. So that also is for realizing Brahman. Sabhaya Bentarohi Aja Mandukya Upanishad. It is both outside, inside. It is everything, including outside and inside. So why that is told? So that we can realize our real nature. Atma eva idam sarvam, Chandogya Upanishad. So all this, so you know, the last two have been included to show the all-pervading immanent nature of the Atman. First two, three are showing the transcendent nature. And last two, Sabhaya Bantaro Yaja and Atma eva idam sarvam ityadinam. So, all-pervading immanent reality is what we are. So it is described for us to realize that. Okay? So I am Atma, that this Atman, which was told to be Chatushpad, Paramartha Aparamartha Rupa Chatushpad iti Uktaha. It was told that that very Atman is Chatushpad. And Chatushpad means three non-ultimate and fourth the ultimate. All three rupas were experiences. They are not, he is not calling unreal, Aparamartha, not the ultimate. and fourth will be the ultimate. Avidyakritam iti uktaha tasya aparmartha rupam avidyakritam. Now he says non-ultimate means due to wrong knowledge, not incomplete knowledge. Padatraya lakshanam rajju sarpadi samam, like the snake on the rope. Shankar he likes to negate. Padatraya lakshanam bijankurasthaniyam. You understand this? From the deep sleep we have to come back to waking or dream. That cheto mukha prajna. So they are like seed and sprout. So they have been described. Atha idanim. So now, abhijatmakam, that which will not contain seed of the universe. Beyond. Paramartha swarupam, the ultimately real. Rajju sthaniyam, like the rope in the example. Sarpadi sthaniya ukta sthana traya nirakaranena. So the three states which have been described, like Sarpa, by denying them, he is telling us what is that. So, this is called pravachana. It starts with some theory and comes back to that theory. He had told that by denial of the three, the fourth is indicated. And after proving everything, he says, so, by denial of the three aparamartha rupas, the fourth is being stated. Nanta pradnamite. That is why so many negatives have come. Here a doubt comes. Now, Purva Pravilapanena we are told. The Jagruti vanishes in dream and dream in sleep. And then negating these three, what you are achieving? Is it not automatically that the fourth, in the fourth, these three will not be there? So what special thing you are gaining by negating? Nanu, Atmanas Chatushpatvam Pratijnaya, you are told that Atman is Chatushpat, Padatraya Kathanena eva, and describing three parts, Chaturthasya Antapragyadibhyo Anyatve Siddhe. So the fourth is automatically not like dream, not like sleep, not like waking. It's clear. And that means he thinks fourth is a state. Understood? These three states have been told, and you are telling the fourth. So in the fourth, these three are not there. But what we had understood, what Gautpada had made us understood, it is present in all the three and separate from the three. So missing that point, those who think it is the fourth. So three have been told, fourth is separate from them. Na antapradnya ityadi pratishedo anarthaka. So telling that this is not like that, it does not carry any meaning. Now, you can mark 1, 2, 3, I will tell. He gives 6 reasons to tell that this is the only way. Yes, 6 reasons. To tell that by denial you can realize. First, no. Sarpadi vikalpa pratishedena eva rajju sarupa pratipatti vat. Tri avasthasya eva atmana turiyatvena pratipipadayishitvat. Three are states. And Atman is fourth, not state. So, understood. It is not this, it is not this, it is not this. Does not mean a fourth state. It means it is present in all the three and beyond the three. So that is the first point. So the word which is very important is coming little later. Pratisheda Vigyan, denial leading to experience. So the first reason he has told, that the desire is to tell Atman as the fourth, not as a state, but none of these three. Means it is present in all the three and yet separate from them. Tattvamasi itivat. Same thing is told in Tattvamasi. Tat and Tvam, difference is removed and you remain that. Second point, mark 2 here. Yadi tirvasthatma vilakshanam turiyam anyat tat pratipatti dvara abhavat Shastropadesha anarthakyam shunyata pattirva. If Turiya would have been something different from all the three, different, then what is the way to get him? Where is the means to get him? It is not different, but different in nature. It is present in all the three. It is all the three and yet separate. So had it been something different, same state, had it been something different from the three, then what happens? We would have been left with nothing to realize him. You understand? Because we see the world, because we are the experiencers, and we have three types of experience. So we can find out the reality. If we cannot experience anything, if the world is not there, we can never understand Brahman. We see the world, so we are seeking the cause of the world. We are seeing the world, and the world is unreal. So what is reality we are seeking? But if there is no experience for us, then there would not have been left any means to know Brahman. Important point. Yadi hi tri avasthatma vilakshanam turiyam anyat tat turiyam is different from tat pratipatti dvara abhavat. Then no door is left, no means is left for realizing him. Shastropadesha anarthakyam. Then all the scriptures are useless. Shunyata pattirva, or as you had told in the beginning, it is zero. Like that it will come. If we have no experience is real, then what is the means of getting him? Or it is not there, it is shunya. So, it is something present in all our experiences, but they are unreal. So there has to be real something. So denial of these three is the only way to get at it. We have these three experiences, but they are not real. So we are left with the fourth. If it is different, then we would not have got anything. Clear? Now, third reason. Rajuriva. Here you put number 3. Rajuriva sarpadivir vikalpamana sthanatraya api atma eka eva antapragyaditvena vikalpyate yada. Like the roop appearing as snake, one Atman is appearing in these three. Tada antapragyatvadi pratisheda vijnana pramana samakalameva. And they are denying these three. So the denial of the three, because the same Atman is these three, so the denial of these three is generating an experience. This word is important. Pratisheda vijnana pramana. The only means to realize him is the denial of the three. Because one reality is appearing as these three, so the three are not real. But one something is appearing as these three. So the denial of these three itself produces experience. That is the means of experience. Samakalameva. That means if that pramana is there, if we achieve the denial of these three, then that moment the reality appears before us. Because one reality is appearing as these three, and we are told these three are not real. And if we get at that Praman, if we get the eyes to experience the denial, then that very moment the reality will appear. That is the force of this seventh mantra. What happens? What happens? Atmani anartha prapancha nivrutti lakshana phalam parisamaptam. In the Atman, anartha prapancha nivrutti, all the evil manifoldness is gone. These three, it is appearance of one, so when the three are denied, that very moment, if we realize that very moment, all the evils of life are gone. Parisamaptam, and it ends the problems. Iti turiyadigame, iti, so, turiyadigame, for the realization of the turiya, pramanantaram na mrugyam. Don't search for any other means, logic or anything. If one appears as three and the three are denied, if we realize that, then don't seek any other praman. Sadhanantaram va namrugyam. People say something more need to be done. He said, don't search for any sadhan. Don't search for any other praman. The praman is the denial of the three states. and don't search for any other sadhana also. Rajju sarpa viveka samakala iva rajvam sarpa nivrutti phale sati rajvadigamasya. Same example. That snake, if you deny the snake, then that very moment we are seeing the Rajju. So 3 ways have been described. There are 3 more ways. To tell us that this pratisheda itself should produce the necessary means of realization. Okay? So the 7th mantra, very carefully we have to tread. And Shankar is splitting, analyzing, and explaining why such a method is used. So, next Wednesday, Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Deva Bhadram Pashe Makshabhir Yajatra Stirai Rangai Stushtavanshas Tanubi Vyashema Deva Hitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vruddashrava Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Starksho Rishtanemi Swastino Brahaspatir Dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.